I'm Beatrice.
I'm Iris. I'm Beatrice's younger sister.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, special guest here today. We're talking about, like, I guess, red flags, green flags, figuring out, like, how do you know you want to date someone? You know, like, how do you pick the cream of the crop? Like, how do you know off the bat? You know what I mean? Like, so I brought an expert here to talk about that today. And why are you freezing up?
I'm like, expert in what sense? Of like exactly what not to do? Sure.
Okay, well, maybe. But Iris is like,
has been around.
No, cut. No, but you were like low-key famed with the people that know her. Let's just say that I've had people be a little jealous of the
of my romantic life?
Your dating pool.
Yeah. Oh, of the guys that I've pulled in my past.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's a really backhanded compliment. It's like, how did you get him?
Exactly.
And I'm like,
okay, I don't care if you're jealous, right? You want that man, right? Because you can't get him. Okay, great, right? But I did have one friend that was like, use a specific word, pull.
How did you pull him? Yeah.
She was like, oh yeah, like Iris like pulls like really well.
Yeah, people say pull.
That pissed me off.
I'm
Yeah. Pull is like low-key like a backhanded compliment. That pissed me off. She said that and I was like,
I know who you're talking about. That guy didn't even have health insurance. So like I'm just kind of like pulling what?
Like
pulling unemployment?
Okay, calm down. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so that's not okay to say, especially to me. So I was like, what are you talking about? It's fucking obviously because she's really pretty, she's super smart, she's like,
guys, stop.
Educated.
Is this being recorded? Okay, good.
Yeah, this is only said for the camera. Don't expect this treatment outside.
Should we put him on the floor?
I don't know, up to you. I don't know what.
I don't know. Do you think you can hear his whole whining on the mic?
Probably.
You think so? Is that ruining it?
I mean, he's already here. The viewers either like him or they hate him. They'll either be like that rat-looking thing, or they'll be like, so cute. But okay, so now that we have like the background to it, on your first date, like what are like red flags that you're like, okay, this is a deal breaker, or like I don't care how hot you are or how much money you make, like this is a red flag and I'll never see you again. Do you have some?
I have like more red flags of, because I'm not gonna lie, I do use like dating apps. Like I use Hinge and I use Bumble.
Why would you lie?
No, some people are like, I don't use anything. I just meet like people at work, and I'm like, I can't
organically.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of people that are like, I don't watch TV. It's like good for you, but some of us have to use the internet to meet people.
It's a very modern way of dating. Like,
I think so. Yeah, but I think I have more like distinct red flags of like what I can tell in people's profiles or like opening messages.
That was going to be one of my questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of.
We can start with that. I have some.
I think my filtering process before the first date is much stronger than like post first date red flags.
That's good. Because it's harder once you meet them to be like,
bye.
Yeah. See you later. I don't like you.
Yeah,
like,
and then they're like, oh, what was wrong? And I was like,
yeah, ghost.
Yeah. Block, delete. For me, it's like usually if they say something like, hey, sexy, it's automatically really like, whoa, like,
what?
That's how you want to start opening the line, or like, wow, like fire emoji, you're so hot and beautiful.
Ew.
And it's like,
it's giving like objectification.
Yeah, it's just, if your opening line is just like something, a mixture of like tacky, creepy, and like
greasy?
Objectifying. Yeah, it's like used car salesman.
Yeah, greasy. I get it.
You have an objective, obviously.
It's not real Riz. It's like kind of like snaky.
I hate the word Riz, but yeah, it's like you weren't even like flattering about it. Like you were like, hey, sexy. like you, if sometimes you were like, oh, like your dress in that one picture, like you look really sexy there, and I'm like, okay,
thank you for the extra effort.
Yeah,
in
like
that compliment.
Yeah, but just opening with like, Or like, hey, what are you up to? I'm like, that's so bare minimum.
Yeah, I hate that.
That's not so much a red flag, but more like...
No, I don't respond to those either. It's like, hey, how are you? You know what?
Like, good. It's like, I know you don't really give a fuck.
No, you know what the
about
red
how
flag
I'm doing.
isn't that? It's like, you're fucking boring.
Yeah,
You're boring.
yeah. You have
That's your red flag.
You. Okay, we gotta put him on the ground. I feel like he's just gonna cry the whole...
I like that charm, though.
Oh, thanks. I got both of these at Marshall's. They're silver, but with
Really?
gold plated. It was only like $10. It's a bumblebee and
Very
the other
pretty.
one's a pearl.
Yeah, it's very classy.
You guys can't see. Sorry.
Maybe if you subscribe, we might
1, 2,
flash
3.
them.
No. Okay, sorry. This is not that type of podcast. It's not like that.
Oh my god.
We should do OLIPOP reviews.
I did in my last one.
Oh, you did?
The Barbie one.
Oh, you only reviewed like one? You should be like a little bit over consumerism and get like all 8 flavors and like taste test each of them.
Yeah. Over consumers.
Yeah, people like to watch stuff like that. Anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe not as a podcast, maybe as like a reel.
Or like one OLIPOP review a day.
How is that?
It's actually really good. I should have let you taste it before I like was almost done.
It's fine. It looks empty.
It's not. It's like the third full. Okay.
What soda is that supposed to like mimic? Grape
soda. I think like Fanta. Grape soda.
Fanta has grape soda.
Yeah, Fanta is not just orange soda. Okay. Justice for
Cherry vanilla. I don't love this.
I don't love it either.
It's very vanilla. Like it's giving me vanilla extract
It's
vanilla.
super fragrant at the end.
Yeah.
And it kind of overwhelms. You just sit with a lot of vanilla at the end. And
Yeah,
like,
I agree. Not my favorite.
The drink has been swallowed. It should still be lingering this long.
Yeah, it's a little perfumey.
Do you have one question per index card? It's one line. What a waste of paper. There's no notes on any of that. They're completely blank. It's just like, first date.
Why are you laughing like that? I was supposed to write down my thoughts after, but I didn't have time. So this is chaos. Jesus. What's happening?
My microphone fell off. Either your worst or best episode. Okay.
Where are we? We skipped to, okay, what else?
Oh, first.
Red flag.
Red flags in like dating profiles?
Yeah.
I think that
sexy.
it's, aside from messages, what about like actual profiles? Do you have any that you've seen that are
what's
like...
a red flag? When the first photo is like in the back of their head.
The back of their head?
You know, like those, have you seen those?
What?
Have you seen those photos with this guy? There's like a beautiful landscape. It'll be like them, like.
Yeah, like on top of a
or they're
hiking
just like,
mountain.
exactly,
Yeah,
but it's
and
like
you're
the
like-
back of their head. You know why that's a red flag? I immediately, because I was like testing one of my friends who's never been on a dating app because him and his girlfriend, they started dating before that became prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been dating for like a long time now. And he was like, oh, this looks nice, right? And I was like, no, like that's not, swipe immediate left after that first photo. And he was like, why? So then I showed everyone else that was like sitting there and they were like, yeah, that guy's ugly for sure.
Oh, if his first photo is that, then
It's like the back of his is not his face.
or yeah,
He's ugly.
Like, if it's like a big group, if he has multiple big group photos,
Yeah, he's ugly.
no, like I feel like not just
No, he's
sometimes he
he's
can be
ugly.
cute. Sometimes it's like they might not be ugly, but it's like, how dare you like make me try to just figure out which one you are?
It's because he's ugly.
No, I think it's more like
He's trying to dilute his ugliness.
No, I don't think they have the foresight for that sort of thing. I think it's more like
No, it's
a lot
not
of guys
foresight.
don't take pictures unless it's like a group bro picture, and that's all they have.
Okay.
So it's like them with all their buddies, and it's like the same 4 buddies though all the time, and in all the pictures, and it's like, which buddy are you? You know, like I don't have the time to figure out which one you are.
I think you're right. I think that can definitely happen, but 4 out of 5 times is because he's ugly.
count at the bottom. I want a little tally. It's like, how many times does he just say he's ugly?
No, it's because you're insecure if you don't have any photos of just yourself. If it's not for the reason that you're saying, I think that's completely possible. Like, if it's like 4 guys and they're all good looking, then it's like, okay, obviously you're not ugly, right? Yes, you just don't have photos of yourself by yourself, which could be a green flag. But if it's like three guys that are good looking and 1 guy that's ugly, you're the ugly guy.
She just said ugly like 4 times in the past 10 seconds. Oh, you know what's a really big red flag? When it's like, I have my dating pool to be like at least like 28 and up. I can tell that photo was not recent. Like,
oh, facts.
Yeah. You can tell not only just like from like that one picture, it's like really old, but also the quality. You know that this was taken on like an iPhone 6.
Yeah, you're right. You're like, you don't look like the same person. That's kind of catfishy.
It is catfishy.
Yeah. Because they don't look like the same person now.
I've been catfished a couple times, actually.
No way!
Yeah, like...
So this is how you're like, that's one of the signs that you're a catfish.
Yeah, like, I've been on some dates where the guys are really, really attractive. Like, honestly. And then it turns out that it was like, the pictures were from like 2 or 3 years ago. But the thing is, like, 2 or 3 years between 20 years old and 23 years old might not be a big difference. But, like, between, like, 26 and, like, 29, like, I feel like...
That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah. And
that's
same
when,
for, like,
guys
women,
go bald.
too. But, like...
Yeah, women, too, for sure.
But, like, I feel like women make an effort to keep taking care of themselves as they get older, whereas men around that age kind of think, like, oh, I can still keep eating and drinking like a 24-year-old. And it's like, no, you can't. This is not what you asked me.
No, it is what I asked you. Those are red flags. I don't want to be catfished. Like,
have you never been catfished before? Or have you ever, like, been like, oh, shit, like...
I think I definitely do the same things that you do. And I think it's because, like, we're careful about the photos that we look at. Like, you need you need more than one up close, clear photo of yourself on Hinge. Yes. Otherwise, I'm not meeting you. Like, you
can only have one photo where like it's your face might not be that discernible.
Exactly.
Just one.
Exactly.
And if it's like a hobby.
Yeah. If it's most of them, you're catfish or you're ugly.
Yeah. Or like there's something really catfish and ugly is the same, I think. No?
No, because you could catfish by being a totally different person. Like, it's not your photo.
Oh, I've never been catfish like that. Yeah. I've been just like, oh, this is you in college and you're 30 now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's kind of catfishy, yeah.
That's so catfishy.
Yeah.
Because I think men call women catfish if they have tons of makeup on in like a picture and then don't have makeup on in person. And it's like, that picture
that's not catfishy because you can still be the same person with makeup on the next day. Like, that's still you. It's a version of you.
Yeah, but like men are like, that's misleading.
Right, okay. Whatever. Like, I know there's gonna be, if some 30-year-old guy that's sees this and they're not looking that good, they're gonna feel offended and be like, well, we can't help it.
Beaches is getting her first Tate comments from like the Andrew Tate fan group. They're like, oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, what do you have to bring to the table?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so then what are your tips, I guess, on Hinge? You actually gave me this tip that I didn't know until I heard from you, because you know how like the number one complaint about like the Hinge and like algorithm is that there's a bunch of great quality like pics or like options in the beginning when you first join, but then after like 2 weeks after your newness dies off, you're just like, what am I being shown right now?
Why it's almost insulting. Like the people that are liking
it's like, what is this selection? Everybody I know on Hinge, like they all get that, and I think it's the algorithm. Like, it doesn't have to do with like the actual people, it's like the algorithm. And I had no idea how to like surpass that or like get past that. How do you work around that? And everyone has like these little tips, like make sure not to have your filters on or whatever. I hate that one because I tried it with no filters, no age filter, nothing. And I got
no age filter at all?
Because someone on Instagram or TikTok said, don't do any filters, no filters. And then that's how like you surpass that. And I did that and it didn't work. All I got was like
I don't think that
100 plus
person
likes
knows.
from like 50-year-olds. Like, it just didn't work.
And then
right?
you'll be popping off
Yeah.
in the senior center community. Like, what the hell?
No, but yours worked. And your tip was the roses, the outstanding.
Yeah. So I just want to preface by saying that I wasn't like out seeking like how to find the best Hinge. Like, I swear to God, I work in tech. We're always talking about like algorithms and whatnot. So my feed is just talking about, I don't know, different algorithmic patterns.
Yeah.
And I guess the whole thing with Hinge, it's not the same as like Tinder. Like, oh, you both swiped on each other. It's like, it could be a surprise. Hinge is like, you send each other a like. And the thing is, you can't send each other a like at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
if Beatrice has somebody, they can't see each other at the same time. So if she's seeing him on her feed or something, that means that he's not going to see her until
Later.
until after she X's him or like doesn't, you know, until it refreshes. So
Oh.
you can't like
Oh, interesting.
because you can't like each other on
I
Hinge.
see. Yeah, so that same concept then applies to the rose section.
Or yeah, like your outstanding section that they give you every like 24 hours. It's like a mixture of like most popular, I think.
Yeah.
And also a little bit takes into consideration like your preferences and like what you have responded to and haven't.
Because the whole point is that they want you to pay money, so they put your actual preferences in that section.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to do with you. Like, you're not, you know.
They want you to buy the roses. They
just
want you to like
pay money.
Pay money to like get that subscription so you can send more likes per day, more messages. And they know that like women aren't as keen to do that sort of thing and don't really need to, I guess, just the way that dating is set up.
Yeah.
So I think that like they throw the uggos to like make us. I'm sorry, that was so rude.
Okay, but like,
I'm totally kidding, but like,
no, okay. If you leave a hate comment in the comment section, that's how we know you're one of the uggos. Okay, just keep your hate comments
this is
to
all
yourself,
just jokes.
so then we won't know.
These are all jokes.
So Xing those people, it's part of the algorithm to like
you
throw
cannot-
them back in the pile.
Yeah, it also kind of brings them down a tier. Like, technically, like the algorithm
Wise,
sees that like they're receiving these rejections from people like you, and like yes, it'll be hard to determine like, oh, did you just find them unattractive or were they just not like specifically your type?
Yeah.
But like the algorithm favors you if you're very like high rejection to other people, which is kind of messed up because they assume that like the more people you reject, the more likely you're also like makes you more worthy in some capacity.
I mean this whole concept of like these tiers within dating is kind of messed up in general. So I know we're like laughing and like talking about it like that, but like
deep down I'm like, it's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, nobody wants to feel that way, you know?
No, yeah. That's why the whole uggos thing, we're kidding.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just dark humor.
it's dark. But
also watch out.
We're trying to laugh through the pain, dude. Okay.
Yeah. So but that actually worked when I did that. Like my non-standout section, just like my regular like section, like I was like, oh, this changes my like the cards.
Like the people that are liking you now. Yeah, because once you X them, now you're eventually going to show up on their feed. Not like necessarily as an outstanding, but just like even regular, which could be better.
So it's just kind of about like playing the algorithm. It's not. It doesn't even have to do with.
It's not
like,
you.
It's not.
It's the algorithm.
Yeah. Have confidence in yourself. So I think you should try that out, even though it hurts you and you're like, oh, this guy is really my type.
Yes.
Just do it.
I've done that too. I've
it
done
works.
that to a couple of people, and I'm like, oh, I hope you come
Yeah,
back.
me too.
If you let them go and then come back,
They'll
to you,
eventually
that's
come
how
back.
You know it's
if
real.
it's meant to be. Yeah. What about when you get to that first date? You know, what are the red flags? You know, one stereotypical red flag that everyone says is being rude to the waiter.
Yeah.
That's not a thing for me. Like,
Like they
it's
can
like
eat them up.
no.
Like, okay. They're like,
No,
get
it's
the
just
shit
like-
out of here. They're like, boy.
No, it's just like, no, duh. Like, don't be rude to anybody. Why is that so specific? Like, why is it like...
I think it's because I'm not sure how many people have actually experienced that.
I've
on
never
a first date.
experienced that. So
I've
why is
never-
that such like a prevalent like
I
issue?
think it's because so many of us have worked in
the
other
service
side.
center now.
I've seen so many people be rude to us that we're like, that would be such a turn off. Like,
Really?
if I saw that.
No, I was a server in college. I've never experienced something like so.
I've experienced like groups of like boys or like groups of girls, like, but not like dates ever. I think everybody on dates are on their best behavior.
Exactly.
But like when you're with a rowdy group of friends, like that's when you're like, wow, like these people suck. And I'm like, if I was on a date or like out with these people, I'd be like embarrassed and I would like not want to hang out with them anymore.
I see.
But I think that's true. I'm like, I've never experienced that personally.
There's never like a real red flag that I look out for. What's like a real red flag that you're like, this is a no-go? There's something deep and sinister in your personality that I cannot pursue.
I feel like red flags. Okay, this might not really be a red flag, but more something that's like important to me, and I don't know how to get to it. Sometimes someone's voice is really, really, really important to me. So, the thing is, obviously, like a lot of people aren't interested in like having a phone call or something beforehand, before a first date.
That's not a bad idea though. A phone call beforehand.
Yeah, sometimes I try to do that, or I'll send a voice message over text, see if that elicits a voice message from them back. Sometimes that works. Or if we have each other on social media, I'll like try to find a video of them talking, because if you can't stand to listen to them, like, or if they just have poor conversational, you can usually tell.
Yeah,
texting usually is not enough to actually determine like how you guys are going to conversate. True. So I really, like, even a 10-second voice message, I feel like tells me so much about, like, how we're going to get along.
Yeah, that's really good advice, because a lot of people say that
Darwin,
you meeting someone and talking to them is totally different from texting, and you're like, where is the tension in the good conversation that I felt over text that I don't feel in person? Yeah. That listening to their voice or having a phone call kind of, like, branches that. Yeah. That's really good advice.
Yeah, because everyone texts. I feel like a lot of people, depending, if you're in the same age group generally, or you grew up in the same area, have the same kind of background, you probably are going to text the same. It's not that hard to like text anybody if you think about it. But like having a actual voice conversation, I don't know. Like even the way that their voice sounds to me,
important to you.
Yeah, it's not really a red flag, but more of like a deal breaker. I don't really know if I have like.
It's like a preference.
Yeah, but deal break worthy. Like, if I don't like your voice, I'm sorry, but like, it's gonna be really hard for me to be able to.
You just got sensitive ears. You're in tune.
I got sensitive ears.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Yeah. Okay. I bet too that having a phone conversation beforehand and not FaceTime, just phone, that probably builds tension. No.
Hey. I guess. I don't know. It's literally, I'm just like, that's just my vetting process. Like, I will send a voice message sometimes over Hinge to just see if they'll send one back. And then sometimes if they have a voice prompt, that's like even better.
I love those voice prompts. I love them a lot.
Do you have one?
No, but I really like listening to them.
Some of them are either really bad or really good.
Yeah. It's like shows how much you're willing to go out of your comfort zone and how funny you are. I need a funny man. Anyway.
What are your red flags? Do you have an actual red flag?
My red flags?
Or like, I realize I'm like sort of not answering your questions.
No, you are. You are answering them.
I feel like deal breaker versus red flag is totally different. Red flag is like, he just called your mom. It's still good advice though. What the like he just like, or like calling women females, like that's a red flag.
Really? Why?
I think.
Why is that a red flag?
No, the term itself, like on its own, female is not. Obviously, like
right. I know what you mean, but why would
there's like I feel like the term female has now been like co-opted by like the Andrew Tate types of people, and so they like refer to women as like these females just like
I see.
Like all they care about, what do the females bring to the table? Like
I think it depends on the tone though, because I definitely say females. Like, it's just like a neutral, like, I definitely say it, but I think it's like the tone in which you say it. If they say these females, then it's like, okay, like, you know, then I get the vibe you're talking about.
Very rarely do I meet a man saying the term females in a neutral way, though. Unless literally biologically, like, there are a lot of females in this area. I'd be like, why did you say? I'd just be like, it's a strange choice of words. But
it is a little strange because it's an awkward term. Like, why would you say female over women? Like, it's just weird because it's awkward. like for anybody. So if you,
I feel like it shows me that like what side of the internet you're on.
I see.
And
see what
that's
you mean.
already like
That's very Gen Z of you. You know, that's not something that I would look for.
Episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes sense if the guys are more like younger and that's like something that's like prevalent in their life, like what side of the internet and stuff. But older guys, I feel like that I don't know. I've never thought of that. It's like not even the side of the internet that I'm on. You know what I mean? Like kind of out of touch. So like that's not really like something I think about.
It's more of a. It's become like a culture thing. I don't know. It's
It's definitely a cultural difference.
Okay, so what do you have for red flags versus like
red flags? I can tell you red flags that I have run into personally, and I was like, I didn't know this was a red flag till now, but this is a red flag.
You're like, oh, I didn't know I hated this until I met you.
Yeah. Okay. I had brunch with someone, and this guy.
Was it first date?
First date. And this guy would not stop encouraging me to drink alcohol.
Oh my god, that is such a.
It's such a red flag.
What am I talking about? I have so many red flags I can tell you. I actually
triggers my memory.
I actually dated like 3 alcoholics, and I was like, what the?
Yeah. You're like you experience it, and you're like, I do not like this. This is a red flag. Like, what the? Why are you pushing this?
Beatrice, first of all, just doesn't drink. She's just
I don't drink.
Not even like, oh, like I'll have a glass of wine.
No, I don't drink.
Not because she's like.
But this was back when I did drink.
Oh,
even back when I did drink, he was pushing alcohol at like 10 a.m. in the morning. I was like, bro.
I just want to clarify. Beatrice is not drinking because she has like an alcoholism problem in the past. Like she just doesn't like.
You know what I hate? My friends. They know I never had a drinking problem, right? But I just cut drinking because it's healthier. And you know what they say now? They say Beatrice is sober. And I'm like, what? Why do you use that choice of words? They all sound like she's sober.
I say
it makes me sound like I'm an AA. Like,
well, no, the thing is, like, the term sober has like kind of changed, but it definitely, you should be careful about how you
never say that because I don't connect with that term. I just don't drink.
I think I've described you as sober to like some of my best friends, but they know.
Right, what
that
kind of,
you're not.
I've never had I've never drank that much to begin with.
In context, I think it's like, oh, like my sister doesn't drink, and they'll be like, oh, does she smoke? I'm like, no, she's like completely sober. Like she doesn't do anything.
I don't do drinking. I don't do any drugs. It's to the point where I literally try to cut caffeine from my life. Like I just nothing. I try to.
In this?
There probably is. Right now, I'm not
a little
on a
bit
caffeine
probably
cleanse, but
it's a vegan.
I do caffeine cleanses very often. You know, so just in general, like. So I just thought that was funny. But anyway, moving on. This was back when I did drink. He was like pushing alcohol onto me, and it found out for brunch.
Like mimosas?
Yeah, I was like, what is wrong with this guy? And it's not even because he's an alcoholic. It's because he wanted to get me drunk. He wanted something out of me. And I didn't notice that in the beginning until later, where he would try to get really like close. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Was he even matching the amount of drinks that you were drinking?
Yeah, he was pushing me by him drinking. He was like...
Was he getting like pictures or something? Ew.
It was like shots in the morning.
No way.
Yeah, it was shots in the morning.
Where is this?
At his house. Beep. Cut that out.
That's not brunch.
No, it was brunch because like he was making food for me.
That's not a good first date ever.
I thought it was cute.
No, you should never go over to somebody's house for a first date.
I realized after that, yeah, that's another red flag over your house. But like,
let me cook for you. That's also
it was like
you're
manipulative.
Cheap.
No, I really like that as like a date, but it's more like a second date thing. First date,
I'd say it's a third date thing.
Yeah, okay. It shows effort. It's more effort to cook for someone than to pay for a meal.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
but I do think the thing is a lot of these like very sweet gestures that are meaningful, I think that have been, not to use this term again, but like co-opted by men as like ways to like get women. I don't trust.
I don't think it's been co-opted because I think it's been around for millennia where if you try to get a girl over to your house, or like for millennia, like guys have their tactics, you know, and so do girls, you know, it's always been a thing, but you don't do anything that you don't want to. So I like it because it shows effort, and I like it more because if I know that's their intention and I purposefully don't give them what they want, I'm kind of like, how much more effort are you willing to put in order to get what you want? You know what I mean? So it's like, I like that almost.
I don't.
If they are really pushy, then you're like, oh, I'm glad that I didn't do anything for you before this, because now you've shown me your true colors. On the fucking third date, you think that I owe you my body after a dinner that you made for me? No. You know what I mean? But if they feel like, oh, this is a tactic, that's one thing. If it's a tactic, try to woo you. But it's something else entirely if it's a tactic and they think they deserve it. So you're at my house. What do you expect? If that's the kind of guy they are, you see it on the third date and you're like, fuck you, I'm leaving. You know?
I just don't like the idea of a guy cooking for me a lot of the time.
That's okay. It's also a safety aspect too. If you don't want to go over to the guy's house that early, don't do it.
For me, it's more like
never do something you don't want to do.
I also don't like guys coming over my place. Like you don't get to know where I live. Like some guys are really sweet, and it's not like they'll be like, okay, like let's go to a bar. Like let me send you an Uber. I always send them to like the gas station down the block from me, and that's like where I'll go. Or like
smart.
Or if they'll pick me up, I'm like, pick me up at the gas station. Like you don't get to know where I live.
Yeah, smart.
And they're always like, oh, like, I think an opening line is always like, can I come over and meet your dog? And I'm like,
I see.
Or if they have a dog, they're like, oh, like, let's have a play date.
Right.
And like, and I'm like, not here. You can't use my dog to get into my pants.
Yeah.
Like,
those are tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, this guy tried to get you drunk. That is definitely a red flag.
100%.
Do you have deal breakers?
Deal breakers? Like something that's not a red flag?
I don't know, I guess.
I don't have deal breakers. I just have preferences. Like, I don't like when you talk a lot. Oh, you know what? If you don't pay on the first date, you're out.
Yo, I've been on that wave as of late.
As of late?
As of late, as in like within the past like 4 or 5 years, I guess.
Oh.
Ever since I've like gone really like my own. I think in college, like when we were all kind of like down in the dredge, like none of us had like a job. Like the people I was dating in college were obviously like my age in college too. We're all broke, studying.
Yeah, it's more understandable.
And sad. Yeah. That was like very 50-50 a lot of the time.
I actually do remember that you were very 50-50
when in college,
your first relationships. And I was like, what are you doing?
I was
but
like,
you were okay with it. That's okay.
Yeah, I feel like because like I just knew that they were making
not that much money.
They in college, like neither of us, like I had like a waitressing job. Like this person had no job.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's totally normal. That happens in college. And then like right after I graduated, like I was like a teaching assistant, but still making more than like, so I was like, I don't really mind, especially because we're not going on like crazy fancy dates. I was like 20, 21.
Yeah.
It's like going to, get a burger and fries. But like now that I have like a career and I like have my own place, like I'm very completely self-sufficient. Yeah. I'm like, I would rather be at home right now.
Right.
Than going on a first date to like maybe meet this guy. So like you better, where's your effort?
Yeah. Show up.
Yeah. I don't care
because
if that's
you need to be wooed. Right?
Yeah. Right.
That's the whole point. Now that you're making good money.
Yeah. It's like, I can treat myself to this dinner. Like,
why would I?
I do. Like, I am completely self-sufficient. And it's like, I would probably rather be doing this, like, with you or one of my friends or, like...
Yeah, so give me a reason to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's just, like, I feel like also before dates, girls put in so much time and effort to, like, get ready. Like, I don't know. If my date's supposed to be at 8, like, I'm getting ready at 6.
Right.
Like, starting at 6. Latest. And also like I don't know, putting on all the like I think about like how much it costs to like do my lashes, my skincare, and I'm just like I know this is all like it seems so irrelevant.
No, it's true because I think last month I had like my nails done and my eyelash extensions and I went on a date and he knew that I got them done recently and he looked at me, he was like, yo, it's crazy. You just got like $200 on your body.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's just the eyelashes.
Just
and the
eyelashes. I just got like a full set.
Right.
I get my lashes done like all the time. And
you get haircuts, hair dye every once in a while.
Yeah. And it's like, this is $200. Like, I don't have my nails done. But like when I do, it's like.
At least $150.
And usually the guys that I end up going out with notice that thing. And they're like, oh, wow.
They treat you better.
Yeah. They're like, your lashes, they know like I got, eyelashes. They know what that it looks like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like they know that like there's a lot of money that went into like preparing for this.
Yeah, because people treat you the way that you treat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you treat yourself good, then you know that someone who knows they're gonna treat you bad, probably not gonna try to approach you because they know that you treat yourself good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, like, I know you have like questions set up, but like this one guy approached me, like we went to like the same grad school and like he was in like my class and like he like came up to me and he was like, the reason like I was like so interested in you, he's like, I can tell you put in like, I used to show up to every single class, like hair fully done, like lashes, makeup, like just because I work from home, so I have like no social interaction with the world, and going to this class once a week, I was like, people my age, like, and like I wear perfume and I looked cute.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was just like not to like elicit an reaction, like a reaction.
No, you're
from
presenting
anyone,
yourself
but
to like
it's
the
good.
world.
It's nice to like dress up
Of
once in a while.
Yeah, especially when you're working from home.
Yeah, and like I think that the type of people that I'm interested in like notice those like heavy effort into,
Exactly, but that's what you want.
Exactly. That's why this is like a preference thing. Again, not necessarily like
preference, but also who really wants a man that likes you for being low effort? You know what I mean?
It feels very pick me. Like,
who likes a man because they like you for being low effort? If you want,
no, you
know what? Actually, you like that. Go ahead. Take those men. We don't want them. And those women too. Like, you guys are meant for each other.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it if you actually like it. If you actually like it, but it's kind of.
I don't think that's like intrinsically toxic.
It's not, but you know that those same people are gonna judge you for spending more time and money on yourself and wanting a man that does the same. So it's like, if you don't judge me, then I won't judge you. But in this society right now, everyone's like, oh, you're such a gold digger, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's the hottest topic. And it's like, no.
Oh, you're so shallow. It's like, no, I
know how to treat myself well.
Yeah, I will do all of that for myself. I'm already doing all that for myself. And it's
exactly.
My time, like, I could be with my girlfriends.
The fact that we even have to make excuses for ourselves in this conversation is crazy. Because, like, the other thing I know is that, like, our parents, like, treated us well. Like, I know our dad, like, especially if for example, when I was studying abroad, like, I didn't have a job. He was always worried about, like, me being able to take care of myself, sending me money and stuff. Yeah. And people would be like, why would I want to meet a man that treats me worse than my own dad?
That's true.
Like, are you kidding me?
Not to sound too like Freudian, but like I think
it has nothing to do with Freudian. It's called standards that set since we were younger.
The whole thing is like your parents.
And as a dad, if you're gonna be a dad in the future, why would you want your daughter to meet a man that treats her worse than you do? So it's like, why don't you keep up that energy when you're dating women in your life? You know what I mean? So, like.
No, I think that's true. I absolutely agree. Yeah, dad is like our father. I think his love language is also like very much like providing.
Acts of service.
Yeah, acts of service. Like, he's not the most talkative guy, but like he like will always like support you when you need something. Like, no questions asked. Like, don't have to like bring up all so.
Right, but like besides that, like, it doesn't matter like what type of personality your dad has. Generally, not even for us. Like, your dad is gonna treat you like a princess. Like, why would I accept anything less? Like, from some stingy ass man who will be like, no, I go 50-50.
Yeah, especially in the beginning. I don't mind. I've gone 50-50 once I'm your girlfriend.
Like if long term?
Yeah, like
I've never done that.
Oh, I mean, like, I've dated people for, like, more than 4 years. I can't expect this person to, like...
No, true. That's the thing. I've never had a relationship longer than a year. So I've also thought that to myself. Like, would I be able to keep this up after a year? Because I know a lot of my friends that have long-term relationships, they also share finances, and that's normal. But, like, because I've never experienced it myself, even for the full year, I've never 50-50.
I also... if I'm thinking about the right relationship, I think you guys were also in, like, technically different places in your career and, like, your life. So I think that, like...
No, even in college, my first boyfriend,
really?
he was the same grade as me, and he...
Grade.
Yeah, same age as me.
Year.
Same year as me. And
the same grade.
we both worked. But I never did 50-50. I was taken care of.
Oh, well, I was like a 50-50.
He liked to do it. That was the thing. I think also you have to, value-wise, you have to match up.
Yeah, like, you have to just find a person who wants to do that.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Like, I prefer a little bit more conservative men socially in that aspect.
You mean traditional?
It's the same thing. I think Americans conflate the two, but it's the same thing. Traditional and conservative. Socially. Not politically.
Okay, yes. Socially.
Because there's a lot of Asians that are socially conservative and traditional. Because like we're very like traditional, strict, tiger mom or whatever. But that doesn't mean your political views are conservative American-wise. But also that's a very American term because I went to Denmark and I realized the word liberal in Denmark is
not the meaning. Like libertarian thing. And liberal are not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. So the term changes. So I just meant like more traditional.
Liberal here is like leftist. Libertarian over in like
it's
the
more
Netherlands is like, it's I can do whatever I want because that is my liberty.
It's like economically liberal and stuff like that. As long as your values align, but I don't know why people gotta bash you for your values when you know there's men out there that are willing to do that for you. So it's like, what is your problem like with it? I don't understand.
Do you have other questions?
I feel like we went on a little rant, a little off topic, but I got a little angry for our fellow women who aren't treated right. Know your value.
Yeah.
This is your big sister advice. Know your value.
Yeah, this is your Omni or Nuna advice. No, there should be no men watching this.
No, I actually have like 30% of my viewership is like men.
They're hating?
No, they're not.
They're just supporting you?
Yeah.
Or are they looking for our feet?
Treat your women right.
Yeah.
Treat your women like you would treat
your daughter?
Your daughter. I mean, it's kind of weird, but you know what I mean. You know what your daughter deserves intrinsically. So why wouldn't your wife deserve the same? I don't understand. You know what I saw? Okay, I'm getting way off topic.
Yeah, look at your note card.
Anyway.
What a waste.
The opposite. What's green flags on the first date?
Green flags. Can't think of good things to say about men. Green flags? I don't really know if I have green flags more so than like checks. Like, okay, they didn't do this red flag.
That's not good. That's not a green flag.
I don't know. I can't think of it because I feel like green flags is such like a
you need to look for green
go.
flags.
Like I really like this makes me like them more.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's such a case by case thing. I can't really think of something that's like
green flags for me. It's the subtle stuff. This also kind of like Asian, like Korean.
Like what?
Like you know when like let's say, whoops, like I dropped something like my fork.
Yeah.
And you try to like. Let's say either they're like, oh, I'll get it for you, or you lean down to get it yourself, and the guy's like holding the corner of the table so you don't hit your head. That stuff gets me.
That's good.
Shippers.
I think it is I totally agree.
You know?
Yeah.
Or like, actually, this happened to me recently. I was at a club and for a friend's birthday, and we were in VIP. Okay, so it's like a good time. It's someone's birthday, so people probably don't want to leave, right? But me and my friend were hungry because we didn't have dinner and it was like 12 a.m. and normally the club ends at 2. So there's a good 2 hours you can spend in the VIP section, you know? I'm just setting that scene up because like the want of someone to leave is less likely. But I was like, I'm hungry, right? So my friend was trying to like rally up her friends to like, oh, let's go eat. And this random guy that I met at the club, like in that section, like, no idea who he was, just learned his name, and I was like, you want to go like eat some food?
You're like,
I'm basically asking this guy to ditch the VIP section of this birthday party in order to go eat food with this random person that he's just met. Right? And he wasn't like automatically like yeah or no or anything like that. He was like, what kind of food do you want? I was like
I like that.
Yeah, right? And then he just started looking stuff up. And I was like,
I like that.
Yeah, that
I like
got me. That got me.
Oh, a green flag. that's like
I don't know how to describe that.
It's like going
leading.
Yeah, being like suggesting like I kind of like want something to drink. It's like okay, like we'll go.
Yeah,
not being like oh what do you like? I mean not just being like just getting like an anime starry eye.
Like pupils are like dilating.
First of all, there's no that man is not here right now. Just reminding you.
I'm just saying that got me right, but later on I realized he was kind of immature, so I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, so that's why I hesitate to use the word green flag, because I think red flags can tell you a lot about like immediately that you don't want to date that person, and the idea of a green flag is like, oh, this makes me want to date this person.
Yeah.
Whereas like this is
no, but you gotta have the green flags. You can't just be like, oh, you are not this, this, and this, so I'm okay with dating you. You gotta be like, I want to date you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
but
why
then
the green flags are important.
You're right.
Maybe you just can't think of them right now.
No, I definitely like when a guy like has things set up, like
in his life. Or you mean like?
No,
did you mean
like
planning a date?
No, I would prefer that he has this like put together. I mean, that's why like I usually date guys that are like a few years older than me.
Yeah, same.
This says
that's
a lot
green
about
flag.
Men.
No, it's a green flag. I think if have your career like all set up and like you know what you want, and those are green flags.
Yeah. Also, but I meant set up as in like if I'm like, oh, like I'm free Friday. I don't want you to be like, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
like maybe
it's the same
at
thing.
First,
leading.
Yeah, if you're like, oh, like, do you want to like, what do you feel like doing? I'll say like either chill or something like this. If you're like, if you end up showing up and being like, okay, like see you at 7, and you're like, so what should we do? That's like the biggest like ick. Yeah, I'm like, okay, like. But when he comes over and he's like, okay, like, we're going to go to this restaurant. And then I also was thinking, like, we could drive down to this. Like, I've had guys be like, no, we're going to order food here. And I'm like.
And when you plan and lead, yeah, that's green flag.
Oh, another green flag is when he loves Darwin. And that's kind of tough, especially when he's kind of an ankle biter. But watching, like, a guy get, like, really, like, cutesy with Darwin, I'm like.
It's like your heart.
Yeah, I'm wild. It feels very like I'm like father figure.
Yeah,
for him. But
I feel that.
It's pretty unattractive seeing guys not fuck with him.
Yeah, how can you? He's so cute, little baby. Also, if you don't fuck with him, like, do you hate dogs? That's a red flag.
To be fair, he is a bit of a cockblock.
It's because Darwin doesn't like men.
I didn't teach him to be that way. He just
learned.
Was.
Yeah, it's personality. Yeah. Let's do an outro.
Beatrice and Iris. With some music added in the background.
2 special guests today. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Cheers. Bye.